Scottish football, the Hackett game. Over a century in the making, 75 years in the recording. Let's look forward.
The findings of this think tank, I believe, will finally see Scottish football enter the 20th century, just as the rest of the world enters the 21st.
Let's look backwards.
Liverpool, they say, you'll never walk alone. That isn't a motto. It's advice.
Let's look sideways.
I've just fallen in love with a furniture polish.
BBC Scotland. Marvellous. It's true. It's marvellous. Always a station where the fans could have their say. I tell you, BBC Scotland invented the phone-in. Yeah. Even before Martin Graham Bell invented the phone.
Were you at the game today? What is your point? Call out.
In the early days, right, this is true. In the early days, the radio commentators had to be very descriptive. They really did. They really, like David Francis. Remember David Francis, oh dear. David Francis, well, he did, That's because many people were listening in black and white.
Well, the phone lines have now closed, and I can exclusively reveal that the sports scene viewers' greatest Scottish sporting moment of all time is Celtic winning the European Cup. I mean, sure about that. Here, Biggie, because the line's not been faulty. Come on, I demand a recount.
Jock Stein, eh? The big man. The quiet man, who could be a loud man, and the proud man, but humble. The big, quiet, who could be loud, proud, but humble man. That was Stein. An uncomplicated character. I remember Jock telling me about 1967, when the victorious Celtic squad travelled back from Abbotson's airport to Celtic Park by luxury coach. He spoke fondly of the scenes in the street and the sense of achievement, and the argument with the board over who should pay the bus fares. Back in the old days, they used to say if you dropped a stone down a Lanarkshire coal mine, you'd hit a decent footballer. And probably kill him.
When the war broke out, our team was broken up, and we were dispatched all over the world. Some of us were sent to Europe to fight the Germans, and some were sent to Burma to face the Japanese, and the unlucky ones were sent to Ayrshire to play in the Juniors League.
Who was Man United's most successful manager? Who cares? No, seriously. It's a tough question. Is it Sir Matt Busby or Alex Ferguson? Well, this might surprise you, but I have it on good authority. The best manager to be under was Tommy Docherty. That didn't come from any of the players, though. It came from the physio's wife.
First I was a sweeper. A road sweeper, that is. Then I tried to get a job as a carpet fitter, because I heard you got to lay piles of shags. But then I got a job in a hotel, and that's when I was influenced to take up football, after a chance meeting with George Best.
Come on.
Mr. Best, I hope you don't mind me saying, you were the greatest footballer of your generation. Now Now you've got an ex-Miss World in your bed, a drinking problem, and you've pissed a fortune up against the wall. Mr. Best, I have to ask, where did it all go right?
Well, one of the things that I remember most of all about football back then was playing with old bladder balls. And I often wonder what Jim Baxter is up to these days, in fact.
Yes, I fully admit I was drinking. But what do you expect? I'd heard I was in the round for the Hibs manager's job.
David Ginola has signed a new contract with L'Oreal Madrid. I think he'll do well as long as he stays conditioned and maintains his natural thickness.
They wanted me to do the Chris bands, you know, the one with the Spice Girls and Gary Larker, but I couldn't have done it, you know. But handed over my crisps to just one of them. I don't wanted to give them all a poke.
Well, when I was in Japan, I thought I could get by with the Japanese I'd learned from Commando comics, but I'm afraid Banzai and IE aren't terribly useful phrases, really. Unless you happen to play for Airdrie.
The SFA have offered Craig Brown an extension on his contract, but Craig will have to hurry. Offer must end Saturday.
Taking Ali McCoist could be a risk because round about that time he's expecting a twin event, a hamstring pull and a groin strain.
Well, if Craig Brown does take his Scotland squad to Euro Disney, I just hope he leaves David Hopkin behind. All the cartoon characters, I think, will be queuing up to get photographed with him, won't they?
Well, some of the older lads I've spoken to have told me all about what it's like playing in the World Cup. They've told me all about the highs and lows as well, because, you know, this is what it's all about. Like 1986, the low point of that campaign was the Uruguay match. Not only did they have the guy sent off in the first minute, I mean, beat that chick, Charlie, but even worse, they spitted on our boys, you know, big groggers and everything. Mind you, you know, the good thing about that is, you know, after the match, you don't need to wash your hair. Yeah, for sure. When I arrived here, I had one major aim: to completely reshape the face of as many opponents as possible.
Football isn't a matter of life or death. In Hibs' case, it's a matter of rigor mortis.
Can I talk to you, Kenny Dow? It's about the Hibs job. What about it? Going to let us talk to them? No. Who no? Cause how? Is that so? Sure. Aye. No chance. No. Well, I'm glad we've cleared that up. In the early 17th, Scottish football was rocked to its foundations by its first major drug scandal. Arthur Montfort's tailor tested positive for LSD.
Of course, Chick. 1987 was the big year for you, wasn't it?
1987. Did something happen then?
The small matter of the Scottish Cup final. St Mirren.
What about them?
They won it in 1987.
Did they? Oh, I mean, yes, of course. St. Mirren, my beloved buddies. What a great night that was. Yes, we were dancing in the streets of Mirren. Is this a wind-up or what? Did St. Mirren really win the cup?
But what you've got to remember is football is full of dangers. It really is. No, it is, I tell you. Full of dangers, like going into a tackle with Vinnie Jones, or running alongside Paul Gascoigne, you know, that, or putting on an electric kettle at Clifton Hill.
Well, how football has changed of late, because not only are there many players out there this afternoon sporting these highly fashionable perms, but now, of course, they're not always even playing on grass. They're playing on AstroTurf, and I do wonder if this will have any effect, of course, on the, well, I say, the players there aren't getting up at all. I'm not sure why that is, but I say.
When Feyenoord meet Celtics in European Cup final 1970, our spies, they tell us about goalkeeper Evan Williams. But we say, never mind Evan Williams. What about Evan Gamble and Evan Johnson and Evan McNeil? You're welcome.
Well, obviously, I didn't know that much about it when I came here. The Celtic and Rangers Catholic Protestant thing, but to be honest, today, I don't think it's a problem no more. I mean, if Celtic were to sign a Catholic, so what?
See, when I was at Celtic, I was flying up and down to London that much. They called me the shuttlecock.
Yeah, I'm beginning to understand the fierce rivalry between Celtic and Rangers. For example, when a big cheer goes up around Parkhead, when nothing is happening on the pitch, I know now that it's because the Rangers have just conceded a goal elsewhere. Before I thought they were cheering because Reggie Blinker had completed the pass.
I mean, you say our songs are offensive. Well, okay, let's look at the words. It's a grand old team to play for, it's a grand old team to see, and if you know the history, it's enough to make your heart go, oh. We don't care what the animals say, what the hell do we care? Now Rangers fans say animals is a direct reference to them. So?
Yeah, but sporting the old firm New Year fixture would be reacting to a tiny minority of people and ignoring the vast majority of supporters who genuinely rejoice in this fixture for purely sectarian reasons.
So, Paul, you know this imaginary flute you were playing?
Aye, boss.
No, son, I'm afraid because of your conduct, I have to deduct an imaginary fine.
Okay, Gaffer.
Personally, I'd like to thank Mr. Ruud Gullit, Mr. Gianluca Vialli, and Mr. Gorgonzola for the very generous offer to take me from Rangers and Scotland. All the uncertainty and speculation their attention generated gave me a great excuse for being pish all season.
Lodo, why hast thou forsaken me?
We've had our problems, but we've still got an impressive squad of foreign internationals. Gascoigne's got the Rangers record number of England caps. Laudrup's got the Rangers record number of Danish caps, and Andy Gorham's got the Rangers record number of Dutch caps.
On my gravestone, underneath where it says Andy Gorham broke my heart, it should also read and Paul Gascoigne pissed in my jacuzzi.
Well, there's been a lot of transfer speculation about me, but to be honest, I'm actually thinking of packing in football altogether, so I might just stay with Rangers.
If Paul Gascoigne is looking for a move, then Japan would be a good bet, wouldn't it? Because the Japanese are very much into miniaturisation. So with his IQ, Paul would be perfect.
Big Rangers fan. Big Rangers fan. Not surprising, really, considering I was raised virtually in the shadow of Ibrox Stadium in Alloa.
The ball falls to David Robertson, and it's a goal for Rangers! And as the replay shows, that was a magnificent strike that gave Marshall no chance. So we're all square again here at Ibrox. Although the electronic scoreboard reads 1-0 to Celtic, it must be broken, or could I have got it wrong? Rangers did score, didn't they?
I did, didn't I? Yes. I didn't imagine it, did I? I've been awful busy lately. A lot of pressure. I must rest more. I must rest more. Exterminate, kill the doctor.
No doubt about it. Kids are watching too much television, with the exception of football. To be fair, in all fairness, language-wise, I'd say that was by far a good thing. When we were kids, you had your clangers, your Poggleswood, your Bill and Bens, who talk funny. At least with us, the pundits. The kids are hearing English being spoke proper.
Well, of course, you know, back in the old days, Bovril came straight from the cow. The Bovril maids would get up early on Saturday to Bovril the cows, and then bring the churns straight over to the ground. All good, natural produce. These days it's all mechanized, of course. In fact, they now produce it artificially. In jars, would you believe?
2 pies and 2 Bovril.
We've no pies. There's sausage rolls, but they're burnt, and we've ran out of Bovril. There's tea, but it's stewed and it's not very warm.
Well, I suppose that'll have to do then.
Right. £5, please. Hold on. Just in case you're trying to rip me off.
If it's got a tit in it, that'll do me.
Yeah, I've seen the film, Mrs. Brown. To be honest, I was disappointed. I don't think it was about Jock at all.
Shankly, Busby, Steen, men of that ilk. Football men. Football men. They lived, ate, slept, breathed, smoked football. And if I met them today, I just have to say to them, get a life.
I always said if you'd have put someone on to score a goal to save your life, then you've obviously gotten too deep with a match-fixing syndicate.
Goals? Well, you know, I mean, what can I say? But, you know, you can't have football without having goals, you know. It'd be like toast without Marmite, you know. It's like playing football without a ball, you know, or a foot for that matter, you know. I mean, it's stupid, it's ridiculous, you know. As for me, you know, I love scoring goals, you know. However many I scored in my career, you know, every single one was unforgettable, you know. I mean, every time I banged one in, you know, I'd raise up, you know, one arm in the air like so, you know. You remember? I put it in my hand, remember? Like that, you know. That way, you know, if someone in the crowd was maybe wondering who it was that got the goal, you know, they could look down and say, oh, look, it was among us. Yeah, it was him, you know. And at the same time, you know, I could look up and see, you know, I'd be like, oh, it was me. Yeah, I tell you.
Graham was sharp. He could make the ball talk. Unfortunately, you could never get it to say, kick me into the goals.
And that, you have to say, is a real poacher's goal there.
Tommy, an incredible result. You look absolutely gutted.
Let's get one thing perfectly clear here. I am Chick. I'm absolutely gutted.
Well, you know, you joke now, you know, I have to say, you know, I remember third Lanark, you know, and I remember first and second Lanark too, you know, and what about Arbroath and the legendary 36-0, eh? Yeah, well, that's the time at the team talk that Johnny McGrain used 36 sentences, and the team understood nothing.
What a hullabaloo! Sensational! I've got the heads. Steady, lads. They're pushing us back. And it goes again. A chance. What a header! What a stramash! What? It's a brouhaha! Goodness gracious! Steady, lads! Steady!
Oh, hard. Right.
That's irrelevant. That's a rubbish question. Ask me a better question than that.
BBC Scotland, 75 years of outstanding football coverage. And talking of Rangers...
Yes, this is me, Chick Young, and this is all about, no mistake, no doubt about it, who else but none other than Elizabeth XI, Luther's legions, the Gels, the teddy bears, soldiers of the sash, the royal wilds, God save the Queen, rule Britannia, the sons of William. Totally superb. What a team. What a club. What a performance. There is the kingdom, the power, and the goalie. Forever and ever. Amen. So, with that, it's back to the studio with the half-time score here. Kilmarnock 0, Dunfermline 0.
Right, well, as you know, Celtic are in action this afternoon. We'll have highlights later, so if you don't want to know the latest score, look away now. What do you think of that?
Ooh, a good-looking ball. Up it goes, down, pushed in, out it goes. Along the ground, in the air, McStay. Neat touch finds Mark Headley in the halfway line. Deep inside the Celtic half, almost parallel with our commentary position, looking from right to left. 5 minutes of this fascinating first half still remain as we slowly approach full time, rapidly. Still only one goal in it. That quite glorious Ali McCoy strike on the 30-minute mark, midway through the first half, on the very stroke of half-time, equalised by quite woeful, from a Rangers point of view, double strike from Celtic's Andy Walker, who isn't playing today. And it's, out for a throw-in.
A true pro always makes it sound so simple.
In it goes, out, away, oof!
Trouble stateside for Maurice Johnson. His application for American citizenship has suddenly halted when his green card turned orange overnight.
Can I just say something here? When we talk about Scottish football, I think it's impossible to overestimate the profound effect that had. The game was blighted by backward sectarianism, yet I had the foresight to sign cultured Englishmen who dragged the old firm out of the orange halls and the chapels and into the High Court.
Lou Macari has been unsuccessful in court action against Celtic. The former manager lost £250,000 in expenses, his original claim for £400,000 and the £10 bet he had on himself to win.
There's a lot of responsibility resting on the keeper's, Charney. Do you concur?
No, I can't concur, Jim, but I will agree. These guys have had more disasters in the air than Richard Branson.
Right. Sensational patter, Charlie.
I've always seen myself as an articulated communicator. Some might disagree with what I say word-wise, and I've no problem with that. But I say what I see when I see it, as I say it. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's my basic philately.
As Charles Dickens would have said, if he'd been a Scottish football fan, the 50s were the best of times and they were the worst of times. There was increased media interest in the game, and as a result, crowds were booming and the money was rolling in. But in the very same decade, the seeds of Scottish football's downfall were being sown.
Congratulations, Mrs. Farry. It's a boy.
Watching Scottish football is like watching ballet. You can't take your eyes off the pricks.
And the river runs slow, the fish swim deep.
We sang Shang-a-Lang as we ran with a gang, singing doo-wop-de-doo-wee. We were all in the news with our blue suede shoes, dancing the night away.
Where, oh, where is that flawed genius? That swaggering arrogance, the stubborn bald-headedness that made the Scottish footballer what they were. Flawed, arrogant bowheads. Where, oh where today is one of Jock Tamson's bands with the sublimely skillful skills of the Dane, Brian Laudrup.
To be honest, it'll be strange to leave Ibrox. In some ways, the Rangers team are closer to me than my children.
Why is that?
Because I've carried them for longer.
Brilliant, really brilliant. This is what it's all about. We won the Coca-Cola Cup, and I said then, you know, we could do the treble, maybe even the double, and failing that, the single.
What was the greatest match of all? Was it the Rangers 2 Celtic nothing game, or even the Celtic 2 Rangers 4 game, or even the Rangers 5 Celtic 1 game? Don't forget, in phoning your vote, the number is on page 62 of the Rangers News.
Mind you, it's a different story for the old firm this season, but you have to ask about Hearts. No, you do. I mean, should Eastern European teams even be allowed to play in Scotland? The Psalm. Even here, Scottish football made its contribution.
Hello, Tommy! Merry Christmas, Tommy! Merry Christmas, peace and goodwill. We have cake, we have schnapps, we have football. Maybe we can play game. Maybe football can bring us together, huh? Maybe football can bring the whole world together. What's a bunch?
Hey, Gaffer, how come it's not alright for me to have a flute, but it's okay for you to have an oboe?
What? No, Paul. I wasn't given an oboe. I was given an O-B-E.
Television. So tell me, Logie Bear, what sort of things would I possibly show on that?
Rangers games.
75 years then of the very best in sports coverage, and I believe we can see that now. Can we? No, we can't.